Yeah, and think of, when did they start doing perspectives? Remember that little slide of Durer doing it? Gaspard Monge, these guys all figured it out. Did they have computers?
Nope, all by hand.
No, but they have 30, 60, 90 triangles. Therefore, that's why they did that. It's based on hand drawing. Does this have to be 30, not 60? No. It's just a good setup, and it's turned over time that it's pretty close to a really good view for two of the planes in depth. Okay, so keep in mind, if you're not exactly 30 and you want to rotate that, that's just one of the variables. Okay, you can do that. But that 30 and 60 is a real tried and true one, and it gives you a pretty good view. Okay, so it's a good place to start. Again, I'm not 30 degrees on this guy. The reason is, if I put it at 30, that's going to bring me right up into here. Folks, from experience, the station point can be where you're drawn, but it gets to be a pain because you got snap problems and it really slows you down. So I try and always keep my station point out of where my drawing is going to be. Sometimes you can't. It's just forced to be there due to the view you want to produce. Okay, but again, that's just another variable. Now, back to the vanishing point. We need these two angles. I'm going to copy them to the station point, extend them to the picture plane. You may need these picture planes to be really wide to get extended to. Okay, so I'll run through the process. I'm going to do a copy. I'm going to copy this line, and put that vertex on my station point. And I'm going to extend those to the picture plane. Okay, that one goes, my other one doesn't. I've got to lengthen this out a little bit. We'll use stretch command for that. So you extend them to the picture plane. These are going to be quite a ways apart. Once you have them extended to the picture plane, draw a vertical line from the picture plane intersection to the horizon line, and those are your vanishing points. I'll leave these up here for a minute. Raise your hand if you need more time. You're going. No, you can leave it over time. If you want, just use the stretch hand. That's it. Then click point there. And just drag. Or you can stretch. Yeah, up there to the right. Yeah, that's the left.
But you don't have to select option.
Yeah, that's over here. That's in here. Left, that's in the right. Go down to that. Okay, I think we're all ready to go. So I've got everything done. I'm going to delete all these construction lines off. Again, keep yourself clean. All right, we need to get started. Now, on this one, what is true size and shape? I've got 1 point. That's it. Okay. It's actually a line. Looks like a point in this view. So let's start there. Since I'm on the picture plane, I'm orthographic projection. So I'm going to draw that straight down. And since I'm on the picture plane, I can use my right side view, and it leaves me with this line. Again, this is going to be your only true size element on the object. We're going to get one other true size element, but it's going to be off the object because we got to switch heights again. Okay. So don't be afraid to use some color coding to keep track of these. So we're true size. Again, let's kind of do this side here first. Try and stick with a plane at a time. Let's go ahead and draw this front edge plane, which is right here. Now, keep in mind, it's a 2-point perspective. Any plane parallel to this vanishes left. Any plane parallel to that vanishes right. We only have one other axis, and that's the vertical axis, and it doesn't vanish. It's straight up and down. Okay? So we're going to do a vanishing left plane, right? I've got this corner, which is right there, true size and shape. This plane vanishes left. Okay. So I'm going to go from here to my vanishing point and back, like such. Let's go ahead and locate this back corner. That's going to give me a line right in here, which will be where that plane ends. To get to this back corner, I'm going to go from the station point to that point. That's how I locate. I'm going to do a line from my station point to that back corner. And then I'm going to drop that straight down from the picture plane, and I can go ahead and trim this up. We should be sitting like such. Raise your hand if you need more time. Yeah? Looks good to me.
Okay.
All right, now, again, we're going to try and track our planes. We just drew this one. Look for something on this plane that's common to one you need to draw. I've got this top line right here. I see it as a point here. It's a line right here. Is that common to this plane? Okay, which I see right here, right? As a rectangle, I see the surface. Which way does that plane vanish? Vanishes right. And I've got the two endpoints of it. So I'm just going to take it from there and vanish it right. So I'm going to do a line from here to my vanishing point right and back. You're probably starting to see that this tracing of plane works pretty well. Once you've got those two lines on, what do we need to do? We've got to locate these two back points. Okay, and I use a station point for that. So station point to point, where those cross the picture plane, drop them straight down. Okay, once you've got it, you should look kind of like me, and then trim it up.
Where they cross the, okay.
Is everybody good? Wanya, you there? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, we're getting ready to jump to a new height again, right? Darn those new heights. Guess what we're going to do? Okay. What are we going to do, Lisa?
You're gonna bring that back onto two sides of the point there, you're gonna drop the line down horizontal, and you use your right side, bring it over to the line where that is.
Exactly. Now, you must project these heights on the angle they're at. I'm not going to take this edge and just bring it right to here. I've got to follow this angle. Okay, so here, if I followed this all the way, I'd bring this point to here, this point would come clear out over to here. And I can do that. But we only need one point. All we're trying to do is define a height, right? Okay, so let's just do one point. Let's just take this one corner and bring it, or extend it, imagination, bring it to that point. So we're going to find true height at that location. So I'm going to grab this corner, bring it straight down. And so from here, straight down, then I can come from my right side view and find that height. Now I've left my line command going, but I want you to draw those two lines. So we're going to take this corner down, and from your right side view to here. That's true height. Now, that's if this plane was extended down. Which way does that plane vanish? It vanishes right. Okay? So from that point, we then shoot that thing to the right. You've now defined the height of this. This edge right here has to fall on this line. We just don't know where it's at. Okay. We're going to use the station point to find this point and that point. Okay? So let's go ahead and locate those 2 points. So we're going to come from the station point to here, bring that straight down till you hit that vanished line. And let's go ahead and get the back line. I'm going to kind of clean mine up a little bit. And then once you do that, trim it up. Let's kind of leave this for a second so you can see it.
right, you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I
And then
say,
it's like, wait, what
man,
is this? Yeah, I think.
keep yourself clean, that is
Yeah.
so important with
That's
this.
really easy to do.
We should have the actual size, or where it actually is located, defined right here. That is, this side. Okay, so you went from. Okay, so I don't think you did delete that first one. Yeah, go ahead. Now, what you want to do is you know it has to fall in here, go from the station point to that point. Right there. Okay, no, no, finish your line, man. Now, it's where you cross the picture line. That's where you drop straight down. Right there. And you hit that line, you got it, this is good. Okay, and then go from the station point to that point. No, stop.
We found these two points.
Cross into the picture line. That's the line signal. Go ahead and trim that up. Get rid of it. We all good? All right. Okay. We've now got that. We know it actually sits here. That is this line. This line is connected to that line and that line, right? Which way do these lines vanish? Left. Okay, so I can now define the front and back of that, where I take from here, and I shoot from there to vanishing left, like such. We only need to locate one point. So let's go ahead and locate this front one. Use your station point for that. So to locate that, I'm going to draw a line from my station point to that back left edge. Where I cross the picture plane, I'm going to drop that down till I hit that edge, which is right there. So I can trim that guy up. So I'm sitting like that. You can locate the back one if you want, but you don't need to. The reason I say you don't need to is we just found that point. It's right here. Well, is that common to this line? Yeah. Which way does that plane vanish? Vanishes right. So from here, if I just draw a right, where those two intersect, it's got to be the back corner. So I'm just walking my way around the plane. Then I can just trim that up. And there is my top plane.
So make your head thing droop, because
has to, that's that line, is that line. And since this goes this way, it has to go to there. Okay, so you got one line there. Now what you need to do is locate that point. So the station point is there. Where that crosses, here's your line, go straight down. And you're going to this line. So that's the line segment you want to keep right there. Go ahead and go there, you want to turn on. Just delete that. You can delete that little segment right there too. Yep. Okay, so this point is this one. That vanishes right. So from that point, shoot it off to the right. No, use station point, you don't need it. Right at the point right here. Okay, there's your plane. I'll turn these up. Okay, we're about done with this character. So let's tie that top to the base. And again, this is on your vertical axis, so it doesn't vanish or anything, so I can just draw straight down. Again, if you don't hit those corners, they're not straight above each other, you did something wrong. Which, don't worry if you did something wrong, I mean, that's pretty common. It's just an indicator that, hey, I need to stop and find that error. The only thing we have left to do, once you draw those two vertical lines, is finish off this right side. Okay, keep in mind, I've got this line. That edge is following this line, which is a vanishing plane right. So from the bottom, I'm going to vanish right, and then draw a vertical line, and I'm done. So I go from bottom to vanishing point right, drop it down vertically, and trim it up. There's your finished object. Again, you might want to compare that to the one view, the one point, and you're going to see that this looks much more realistic. Nice little view. Folks, the big trick, always get when you switch heights to the picture plane, because then you turn it into orthographic projection. Once you define that height, all you're doing is following vanishing planes and locating points along those lines. Use the station point to locate points. Use the vanishing points to locate planes. You can repeat this as many times as necessary. It's going to be the same principle time and time again. Eventually, you're going to get to a drawing maybe like this one. This is going to be the last drawing we do in here. This is a CAD-generated two-point perspective. A lot of pictures put in it, a little bit of hatching, and you can create a fairly realistic look in a matter of hours once you get through the process. You're going to get this assignment on Monday or Tuesday. Okay. And then, where you go, we just framed this one so we'd have an example around. By the way, it's pretty hard to get a computer-generated
Tree.
picture to look good. I do like this one with the shading and hatching that's gone on that does give this a realistic look. Okay. This is just a two-point perspective, okay, with a little bit of art added to it. So we're going to do, the church is your next drawing. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break in case you need one, and I'm going to draw the church for you. If you want to do your stuff and kind of give me half an ear, that's fine. Or you can just watch the whole thing, whatever you wish to do. It won't take me very long. So I guess 20 minutes or so, because I'll have to talk while I'm in it. And if I'm talking, I'll probably make 3 or 4 mistakes. We'll get that done. Then that will be that assignment. On Monday, We will cover a little bit out of your text on how to use pictures in CAD.
We don't have school Monday.
Martin Luther King Day.
You can come,
Sorry.
you can come.
Tuesday.
Darn, that means we're gonna be all the way till Friday
Yep.
on this class. I was hoping to finish it a little early. Okay, on Tuesday, I'll give you this assignment. One thing I would like you to do on Tuesday is wear sensible footwear. Okay, we're gonna break into groups. I'm gonna make 3 groups of 4. And I'm gonna take one group of 4, we're gonna go to the welding lab and show you a piping project there, and you'll get your information for it. Then that group will be about an hour, then we'll take another group of 4 and do that. You do not have to have any PPE if we stay in that portion of the welding lab. By that, safety glasses, steel-toed boots, all that. But we'll make sure we stay there.